watch that. That's cool. That's cool. Let me pause that. I'm gonna say this. I just watched that P Enes battle. Shouts out to both of them. They went in there as competitors, but what I saw Enes just dismantle P. Plus, P in the second round he choked twice, so Enes was up 2-0 at that point. Once he choked, that's it. You know what I'm saying? And then the third round, and then P his rounds were short. Enes doing 4 and 5 minute rounds, and then all the P material and all that great. It's like he trying to freestyle in the battle or something. That's what it just seemed like to me.
You know I love you more than I can say. I hope we never ever go our separate ways. I need money. I need cash fast. Give me the bag. Give me the bag.
A little earlier, one of my supervisors called me from the job, and they was like, I heard you passed the test. And the crazy part is I only told a couple people. But crazy part is this particular supervisor, I'm pretty sure I know who told him what I did. You know what I'm saying? There's only one person that I can think of. And just goes on to show that some things ain't really confidential, but it should be, because it's talked to amongst whom your job friends are. But your job friends is exposing things before you even want to expose things. So it's all good. But I say that to say this. If you work somewhere and you're not trying to advance, you need to look yourself in the mirror, regardless of age or anything. You need to look yourself in the mirror and say, why am I not advancing? And then you got people that they've been in the same place their whole career. Let me say that again. You got people that's been in the same place their whole career. We about to have a guy. He's been at the job 40 plus years. He's about to retire. The crazy part is the job don't want to pay for him a retirement party. They want us to pay for him a retirement party. And here's the significance of why I'm saying that. He's been in the same place, same department, same position for 40 plus years. No advancement. This is the same guy that called me incompetent. And the reason I'm not even going to discuss, because I mean, it's silly. He said that because he felt like he didn't want to have to do the work, but the way things folded out, he had to do the work. It's not my fault. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not going to try to rush and do something and then something go wrong. It's going to be pushed back on me. So the same guy that called me incompetent, I explained everything to him on a piece of paper as to why I couldn't get it done. And he decided to write me a note to say that any competent. So if I'm not competent, that means I'm what? What's the opposite of competent? It means incompetent. So I ain't got no feelings for this guy. You know what I'm saying? I don't wish him no ill will either. But point I'm making is the crazy part about life is you got people that's so content with spinning wheels in the mud. basically staying in the same spot. When you should be more content with trying to step up the chain. Because one thing I know about a lot of people is they always complain about the leadership above them, but they don't do anything to try to get to that above point so that they can directly affect change. Because you can't affect change in one place. You could affect change for you because you most senior guy and all that great stuff, but you can't affect change for everybody. So in life, you want to be careful not to limit yourself to what you can do. Because think about it, if you got there, you can get somewhere else. It should just be, everything should be stepping stones. Stepping stones. Nothing should be permanent until the day you retire. You should always be looking to learn and advance as the job goes on. And I think that's a big problem with a lot of people. They get to a point and then they get content and then they stay there. And then their whole mission from that point on is, I'm going to complain about this and that. Even some people that try to advance, they see that where they're at, they can't advance. But instead of saying, well, I'm going to move here because maybe my welcome is worn out over here. Maybe I should go here, get a fresh start, and maybe I could move somewhere else. Because sometimes you put yourself in a situation, and it's not by no fault of your own. You walk in the door and you walk into a situation that's stacked against you. The deck is stacked from the moment you walk through the door. And at that point, that's when you have to make the decision, do I stay or do I go? And the crazy part about all of this is, when I walked in the door, I said, I'm going to give it a year or two. And if things don't look promising, I'm going to take a test and move somewhere else. Or I'm going to apply for this position over here. Or I'm going to jump into management. And if something in management, if it ever should open up for me, then I'm going for it. You understand what I'm saying? I'm going for it. I was one position, and now I just passed a test for a higher position, making more money. But I got 3 other tests to take because like I said, I don't want to limit myself. So basically, me taking these other tests, even if let's just say, for instance, I pick this position that I'm in now. If I don't like it in a year, I already got the score. I took the test already. I could move over there, or I could move over there. But I'm trying to set everything up before I decide to put in, because what I'm going to do is, I need to talk to the recruiters and find out information like, what's the shift like? How much is this position paying? Um, what hours am I looking forward to working? Am I going to have to work weekends? Am I going to have to work holidays? Is there any overtime? These are all legitimate questions that I like to ask and I like to get answered before I make my decision. So right now, as far as I'm concerned, everything is looked at as equal. So until I get further information, first things first, though, I have to pass the test. So once I pass the test, then I can have a better determination of what my future is going to be in this company. Because right now, I already know before the next picking, because in my department currently now, we have 2 pickings a year. So we do 1 picking in April, which it's May, it's Labor Day, right? Or sorry, it's Memorial Day right now. And then the next picking will be in October. So before October comes, I'm going to be out of here. I mean, it may hurt some people to see me go. It may not hurt some people to see me go. Some people might be clapping and cheering in the aisles. I don't really care. I'm not doing things to satisfy a particular set of people. I need to do things to satisfy myself. Now, if I fail doing it for me, then I failed. If I succeed because of me, then I succeeded. But I don't want to feel like I'm doing this for someone else when I already had a goal in mind. My goal in mind is to make more money, because I drove trucks for 9 years, 10 years. Um, Prior to that, I bounced around a little bit. I had a little teaching job. I was working for another agency, like similar to what I'm working now. And I was there for 7.5, almost 8 years. So I'm trying to better myself and make as much money as possible, because the only reason I stopped driving trucks is because it keeps me away from home a long time to make the type of money that I want to make, because I was making really good money. Um, and it got a lot of things done. It's got a lot of credit paid off. I paid for some things like the roof. I paid for new pipes in the house. I paid for a ton of things. So it's the thing of where I need to be in life. So I can't look back at other people, or I can't look up to other people and think that they're going to encourage my journey. My journey has to be encouraged by me, just like your journey has to be encouraged by you. Now, you don't have to listen to what I'm saying. You don't even have to be for what I'm saying. But the whole thing about it is, you want to create situations for yourself, and you want to be able to have leverage. And the only way you're going to get leverage is through education and options. And right now, I'm creating options for myself, because, as I said, I'm not going to be satisfied with where I'm at, because I'm trying to get somewhere. I got a goal in mind. And the whole idea is for me to get to that goal. Now, once I reach that goal, then I got to think about, am I trying to go further, or is this it? You know what I mean? Because right now I'm older, so that's another thing you got to keep in mind. You have to keep in mind your age and how much further you want to go in life. But always set yourself a set of goals. And when you reach those goals, set more goals. Because what happened in a particular part of my life was, I reached the goal and I stayed there. I didn't set a new set of goals, because people always told me when I was younger, I don't know about you, but when I was younger, people always said, make yourself 10 goals in life. And I said, okay. And they said, try and achieve those goals. Make those goals high so that you have something to reach for. Make it challenging for yourself. I did. I picked 10 of the hardest things I can think of at the time. But you got to think, you're young. You don't really know what's possible when you're young. You think you're invincible, but you don't really know what's possible, where you can go in life. And another thing that I want to say is, I understand some people say, well, I got a record. That's going to stop me from reaching some things in life. But truly, um, that's not true, because I've been to jail. I have somewhat of a record. I got a lot of it expunged, though. But it's one thing in particular I can't get expunged. It's not that I can't, but it's very expensive. So I just leave it alone. But I put it on all my applications. I'm upfront about it. And I let the employer know that, yeah, and they decide. But see, I also have something in the form of leverage. Like I told you before, I do have formal education. So that gives me some leverage. And I have a diverse background, different types of works that I do, you know? And so like I said, don't let things in life stop you. You know what I mean? Just be upfront, don't lie about it, because when you lie, what happens is, and I've seen this happen, they may hire you, get you in, and then when that background check fully comes through, which I think they really wait now, but when that background check fully comes through, they march you out the door. So now you just lost a good opportunity. So don't lie. Be upfront. Let them know. Don't lie. Always be upbeat and positive. Always keep a positive attitude. It's the negativity that holds you back. Always think that you can. Never once in your mind create doubt that's going to limit you to where you're trying to go. Because you're the only one that can create that. I can't create that for you. You have to create the doubt. You have to have the negativity. I'm telling you right now, I'm positive. I know if I take a test, I'm going in there and I'm trying to smash it. I mean, I might not get the best score in the world. It's not to say that I'm going to be perfect on the test, but I'm going in there and I'm trying to bat 100. And then when I go in that interview, I'm confident I'm going to shake that man or that woman's hand. You know, give a little firmness, but don't squeeze. I'm going to hand them my resume and I'm going to give it 100%. And then I'm going to leave it up to them to decide if I'm going to be an asset to that company. But 9 out of 10 times, and not all 100% of the time, but 9 out of 10 times, I'm given the opportunity to do that job. I've even had it to the point where they was negotiating with me on what it should be or how it should be worked. And I end up saying no to that job because they was trying to lowball me due to color. But don't even let color stop you, because I don't. I had another opportunity in the tuck, which worked out to be a better opportunity. So sometimes things happen for a reason. And one thing about me is I'm not gonna play myself under the market line. I know what my worth is. And that's what some of you need to do. Some of you need to figure out what your worth is in life. If you don't know, that's a bad place to be in. But if you know, that's a great place to be in. Because you know, like, I'm not going to accept nothing less than this. I'm going to try to reach as high as this. You understand what I'm saying? So I always reach high. I always hit the highest point and let them negotiate me. You understand what I'm saying? So I want you to keep that in mind. I want you to understand that life has a way of throwing curves. Life has a way of being what you don't want it to be. Life has a way of lifing. But I want you to take control of your destiny. And if you do that, who knows where you'll end up in life. So, whatever you do in life, stay positive, think positive, and be positive. And the result will always come out positive. This has been another RUR Media Productions. I hope you enjoy the content. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Peace.
You know I love you more than I hope we never ever go our separate ways.
I need money. I need cash fast. Give me the bag. Give me the bag.